The next thing I want to share with you is the low-fat myth. Okay, so there's still a lot of people that still focus on a low-fat diet and are scared to eat fat because the food industry in a lot of cases has promoted us to be scared of fat. Fat makes us fat is the message that most people have been getting, and yet the opposite is true. Why do we need fat? We need good fats. It's essential to our health. In fact, these fats are called essential fats that we get from like oily fish, for example. And these essential fats are really important. They're good for lubricating. Good oils, good fats can be like a lubrication to our body like oil is to a car. It lubricates the arteries, the joints, etc. Good for the brain food. If people aren't eating the good fats, the right fats, brains don't function as well, and actually they crave bad fats. Think about it, if the body's got the good fats it needs, it's not going to crave fat as much. If you crave cheese, potentially you could not be getting the essential fats in that you need. So they're building blocks for our cells. Good fats actually give our cells integrity and structure, and they keep our cells flexible so that things can move in and out of our cells more fluidly and easily. A body that hasn't got the good fats in can be very hard and strong and not have the structure and be too rigid. So we also need the good fats to actually, they're key for building our hormones. If people are having hormonal problems, potentially they need more good fats to help the hormones properly. The brain, the nervous system need good fats. So the fats to avoid, well, are these things called hydrogenated fats. You want to stay well away from those. Check back of packets. Trans fatty acids. These are very much like chemical-based fats, okay? So avoid those. They're often in fast food or in poor quality cooking fats. The good fats, olive oil, particularly when it's not been heated up. Olive oil over salads is great. Coconut oil is great, and that's much more stable at higher temperatures. You've got nuts and seeds, avocados, oily fish. These are all good fats. Yes, fat can be slightly more calorific. However, don't substitute reducing your calories for a negative effect on your health. If you're going on a low-calorie diet and cutting out fat because they're high in calories, you are compromising your health and could be at more risk of disease for doing so. So, on the fat one, this may be worth doing actually, Sharpie, for a video. Okay, I saw this years ago actually on TV, it was awesome. Now, imagine I've got 2 bowls and I've got 2 pots of yogurt. This one over here is organic yogurt, and it's actually, they're both organic. Actually, forget it, doesn't matter whether they're organic or not. You've got full fat yogurt over on the right hand side and a low fat yogurt on the left, on this side here, the right side. And what I want you to pour your yogurts into the bowls, okay? Now I could go and get a whole bag of sugar, okay? And I could pour a whole bag of sugar onto a low fat yogurt and it can still be called low fat. Yet it's got more calories and more sugar. Does that make sense? Fat actually makes us feel satisfied. It makes us feel full. Sugar is one of the most addictive foods that there is. And sugar can actually make people, it tastes good, yeah? It tastes sweet. It makes people feel good. So what people can be doing is, if they're having the low fat that's full of sugar, then they can end up having not 1 bowl, but 2 bowls or even 3 bowls of the yogurt because they're still feeling like they're hungry. It's not satisfied them, it tastes good, so they want more. And they can end up eating more calories than they would have done if they'd had the full fat one that's actually got better nutrition in it, in a lot of cases, and actually makes them feel full and satisfied. Whether that's non-organic or whether it's organic, it doesn't matter. Beware of the con, which is low fat products. And be aware of how many sugars some of these things can have in it. But then of course they want to say some products are sugar-free. But be mindful, check the sugar-free products. Because sugar-free doesn't necessarily mean healthy, because what do some companies do? They put in an artificial sugar and sweetener. A chemically produced sweetener and sugar that makes something taste really sweet but doesn't have the calories in. And that's a really bad road to go down, in my opinion, because the more natural our foods and our beverages are, for me, the better they are. I've never seen a blue drink come out of water, come out of a spring somewhere. Or, I've never seen a bright pink drink come out of nature. Yeah? You might be saying pink grapefruit, and maybe you're right on that one. But think about these bottled sports drinks, etc., with all sorts of colours. Does that actually look like it's come from anything that nature has provided for us? Nature provides things for a reason. Provides it for us, for animals, for humans. We've changed the way we use food and what we put into food. While we're on the subject of sugar, I just want to share a few other points. There's a big sugar addiction in the UK and across the world, actually. It's leading to a sharp rise in diabetes. Sugar lacks vitamins, minerals, enzymes, amino acids, all of these nutritional things that our body needs. It's one of the poorest sources of calories. Sugar beet is one of the most sprayed crops with chemicals because its sweetness actually attracts insects and bugs. High sugar intake in our diet can lead to a very acidic internal environment in our bodies, and that can have all sorts of health implications, and one of them is that it can actually strip the body of the bones of calcium, because if we're too acidic, our body searches for an alkalizing mineral to offset the acidity, and one of the minerals is calcium, actually. And that's, we know that's found in the bones, so literally the body will strip calcium out of the bones to offset all the sugar that people are consuming, leading to an increase and rise in both females and males of osteoporosis, brittle bones, we know that as. And also, if you think about this, it strips the calcium out of the teeth as well as the bones, so again, dental problems, etc. could be down to a more acidic diet and sugary diet. We all know that. In 1973, the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition published a study by A. Sanchez et al. Role of sugars in human neuropathic pathology. Oh gosh, why did I bother starting saying that one? Anyway, this study showed that ingesting 100 grams of sugar, simple sugar, lowers white blood cell activity for up to 5 hours. We got this result using processed honey, table sugar and processed orange juice. So this translates into a 50% reduction in the ability of white blood cells to engulf bacteria. So the immune suppressing effect begins within 10 minutes of ingesting sugar. Lowered white blood cell activity means your immune system and its ability to fight infection is impaired. So if you're ill, avoid any cough sweets or cough that has got sugar in it, because the very sugar that's in those things is going to lower the immune system. That's one of my messages. So some of the effects of sugar on the body and the lowered immune system because of sugar can be increased overgrowth of candida yeast, chronic fatigue. It can cause overeating, increased PMS symptoms, hyperactivity in about 50% of children, tooth decay, anxiety and irritability. It can intensify symptoms of anxiety and panic in some people, susceptible people. It can make it difficult to lose weight because of constantly high insulin levels, which causes the body to store excess sugar and carbohydrates as fat. If you reduce sugar intake, I guarantee, depending on how much you reduce it by, you will see the side of your waist reduce. Body fat stored around the side of the waist is directly linked to sugar intake. Fizzy drink. A fizzy drink, can or bottle of fizzy drink contains approximately 10 to 14 teaspoons of sugar. And what I also suggest doing, Sharpie, is I can actually count these out and put them into a glass of water so people can see how much sugar is in that. And actually what's really interesting is as you try to pull that away after it's been in for a few minutes, it's like a glue at the bottom and it's really difficult to get out of the glass. And maybe we should record that, Sharpie, as something for people to see. because that glue, imagine that in the body. Sugar attracts bad bacteria as well. Bad bacteria thrives on sugar. So people's digestions can really be upset because of a bad bacteria kind of overtake. We should be 85% good bacteria, 15% bad bacteria in our gut. Most people are completely the other way around because of sugar and all sorts of other reasons. That lowers the immunity and that lowers digestion and really affects bloating and digestion. So if you want to improve your digestion and boost your immune system, take the sugar out. And you'll find you won't be addicted once you've taken it out for a week or two. Yeah, you might feel a bit tired to begin with because your body's been running on sugar, but you'll feel so much better and you won't feel the same need for it. Okay, check the labels on food. Anything ending in O's basically means sugar because they like to disguise the word in many other things, whether it's maltose, dextrose, fructose, lactose, glucose, etc. The list goes on. So, and beware of artificial sweeteners. I certainly recommend my clients avoid artificial sweeteners like aspartame and asfluane, for example, which is an artificial sweetener. Healthy snacks, fruit, nuts, seeds, maybe some oat cakes might be a good option, or carrot sticks and hummus. Good if you're okay with dairy, good full fat yogurt, and maybe sweeten it with real fruit. Okay, here's the challenge. Just going to wrap up by saying I want you to do the 14-day Believe to Achieve challenge to help your body get a breather. And see for 14 days, or at the very least 7 days, but if you want to really get some results, go for 14 days. Eliminate these things for 14 days. Alcohol, caffeine, sugar, no biscuits, cakes, sweets, red meats, fried food, no takeaways, no chips, no crisps, no sugary based beverages either, and sugary drinks. Eliminate them for 14 days. So what can you have? Lots of fresh fruit and vegetables, fish, meat, pulses, beans, lentils, tofu, chicken. Drink lots of water, lots of nuts and seeds, real food in its real natural state. Water, drink enough water. We heard about that in the other module. I guarantee if you do this for 14 days, you will feel so much better. Mentally, physically, skin improves, people's digestion improves, people often get to a healthier weight. It's all around the nutrition. Think about it, every day you might have to say 3 meals. And that's a lot of choice every day, 3 meals a day. If you change the meals, you change what you're having, you'll change your life, literally, and the way you live it. Alright? As always, write down your action points. What are you going to do differently? Are you going to commit to eating more organic? And if so, which ones are you going to start with? Are you going to commit to having breakfast because you've not had it? And for those of you having breakfast, remember, if you've been skipping breakfast, often people don't feel hungry and they say, I can't face breakfast in the morning. You've got to train your body to want it again. So start with just the smallest amount of yogurt, or just half a boiled egg. Just start with something small, get into the habit of sitting and eating it, and then gradually, when you feel ready, build up the amounts. Train your body to get hungry again at breakfast, because you need it. And your body's forgotten what it's like to have food in the morning. Make that commitment. So whatever it is you change, commit to it, stick it on a piece of paper, stick it on your fridge, stick it on your cupboard, remind yourself of your goals and your action plans to move forward. Enjoy the benefits it's going to bring, and know it's going to lead you down a better road when it comes to health and wellness and the way you perform at work, at home. Enjoy the module, and I hope you've enjoyed the module, and I look forward to seeing you on the next module. Thank you very much. Sharpie, I want to know your action plan. What have you learned? What are you going to be doing on the back of today? Take care, buddy. Bye.